Alright, sorry about that. I was helping my roommate get back inside because apparently she doesn't have her key. Um, but apparently she was just going to prop open the door anyway, so I don't think I actually need to be there. I left my door open just in case she does buzz, but we'll see. I'm actually needed it, but I might have to go just a sec to open it up if she does end up buzzing. Or close my door if she does hopefully get back inside, so... I was kind of sitting here listening to the chat. People are kind of bashing each other about 4 gates. To say that a 4-gate is always better than a 3-gate robo is not true, but to say a 3-gate robo is better than 4-gate always is not true either. It really depends on the positions, how good the players are, and all that stuff. And I say positions not because the 4-gate itself takes positions and whatnot. I mean, it has to do with scouting a lot too. If someone is like a no unit 4-gate and just builds a pylon at 515 or whatever, and you know, gets the warp gate as soon as humanly possible, I believe it's at like 515, they actually get it, then you can defend it. I mean, it's really very circumstantial. One is not better than the other. To say that it is stupid. You know, you don't want to misunderstand that at all. And I think, you know, 515 is pretty darn early. That's really hard to defend. But I would not say it's better, is all. I mean, you can defend it with 3 gates and a robo. You know, if you just do it right. For force fields and whatnot, you know, having good force fields can, you know, deny any kind of ability to get up there, up the ramp to see and morphing guys and all that. So it really depends on what unit mixes are in there and whatnot too. So anyways, let's actually talk about the game. We do have Biggie Bear spawning as our red Protoss player at the 6 o'clock. We do have Paxel, who I was casting earlier in the last game, spawning as our yellow Zerg player at the 9 o'clock. And it is close air positions, and so this Overlord is going to find that's a Nexus. Now, I wonder if he's going to be scooting that Nexus out of the way. I mean, not the Nexus, the Overlord out of the way, excuse me. Now, once he does see that Nexus, because, I mean, the next side does have slightly less vision than the Overlord does, so the Overlord can actually spot it first. Looks like he's... okay, now he's definitely in view. And it looks like he's just going to bring it across, not a big deal. Looks like the drone is going after that probe who tried to block that hatchery. Looks like he's just going to go pool and extractor. Well, not extractor, I guess. Just pool for now. But, well, looks like the drone's just going to chase him away anyways, all the way up wherever he wants to go. Take your its. Now I'm going to have to run away, and you're going to follow me across the map. And that's exactly what's going on up there. Anyways, the Overlord is still in the Protoss base. He's just going to move and mosey his way along, going to their side. Looks like Protoss does have a small gap here, so I believe... actually, I think it's a small gap. It's kind of hard to say. Actually, yeah, it's definitely a small gap. He's going to put his cyber there, probably, to wall it off. Yeah, there's that gap. And cyber, yep, there it goes. So, I don't know, putting the gateway against the wall and the cyber with the little hole next to the cyber or the hole next to the gateway doesn't really matter. I mean, it's just a small little difference. So, I mean, pretty much... it's going to be the same thing, except I guess the cyber is a little bit less vulnerable. So I mean, maybe if you want your cyber to live, you do it this way, or if you want the gate to live, you know, have more potential to live, then you know, I don't know. It's just kind of a small thing. It doesn't even really matter. Anyways, there's a pylon blocking that expansion, but there are 4 Zerglings out. Looks like he's not going to use those 4 Zerglings. Okay, yeah, he's going to pull them back to attack that pylon. Apparently, did not know about it. Looks like he just wanted to put on some early pressure. That Zealot's actually sticking out pretty far, and well, I believe at least 3 Zerglings can attack it, so I mean, getting in there for Zerg right now would not be very hard at all. And well, it looks like he's actually going to be taking the 3rd as his natural, taking the 3rd first and then the natural, with those 4 Zerglings guarding the place. Just adding on a couple more drones and Overlords, actually 2 Overlords at the same time. Apparently he's supply blocked. When you are supply blocked, it is better to put on 2 at the same time. Pretty much when one finishes, you want another one building, because then you will just have enough supply always. Like, that's how you have enough supply as Zerg, because you need so many guys. I mean, the guys cost so much supply that you just constantly have to keep adding it on, whatnot. So I mean, you just produce it super fast too. So anyways, it looks like Zerg's taking another base. taking his natural there, that is pretty huge. It looks like he's just going to macro up in a really big way, and hopefully these 4 Zerglings are not going to get killed off by that Stalker. Now, Stalkers move exactly at the same speed as slow Zerglings off creep. So, I mean, you can actually cut Zerglings pretty darn well with that Stalker, and you can actually pick off 4 Zerglings with it if you do it right, but it looks like he's not going to choose to do that, just going to run back to his base, back and tight. Looks like a 3 gates is up, so I believe this is probably going to be a 3 gate expand. He does have 2 gases, which means he's going to be adding on a lot of sentry. Or I suppose he could be going Blink Stalker, but he already has 1 sentry, so that's what I believe it's going to be. Plus, you pretty much get the Twilight Council after your first warp gate, after the Sun Max score. So, and then add on 2 more gateways, just so you can blink a little bit sooner and all that good stuff. So, just a little bit better of a time to play. Anyways, the Nexus is going down, and 2 Stalkers are out, so going to be killing off that Zergling. And well, Zerg, is in such a macro mode, he's, Protoss is definitely going to be very well protected against anything. So I mean, really doesn't even have to worry about anything at all. And of course he doesn't know that because he's not scouting, but I'm just saying. So, looks like Zerg now getting that 2nd gas. Split some guys up to that 3rd, and now that the natural's finished, probably going to split some up more to there. But now you can just produce drones like crazy, like once you have enough money, just produce a whole bunch. Alright, be right back 1 second. Sorry about that, just had to close my door. And so, alright, what's going on in this game now? Looks like Overlords were just produced, gonna go right out here. Not the best choice because, I mean, you do get kind of targeted then, and these Stalkers and whatnot can just kill them off, and, well, then you don't have supply. And that's a big waste, so you gotta get them out of there. Looks like he's trying to get them out of there as soon as possible. Apparently that one Zergling found everything out, so he really needs to move those Overlords. I'm pretty sure he knows about it. Whenever you produce an Overlord, you pretty much want to put it in a specific designated zone. Or, I mean, you want to move it away from where your guys are going to be collecting and rallying to, because otherwise this is going to happen, and you're going to lose a lot of Overlords for nothing. And, well, it looks like Paxel, he just went super macro mode, just doesn't have enough defense, so it looks like he put up some Spine Crawlers at the last minutes. They aren't finished quite yet, so he is definitely going to be in a whole lot of trouble. And, well, I don't believe Red knows about this extra expansion up here. So, I mean, Red really has to do a lot of damage to really equalize it and put it back to a balanced game, because otherwise Yellow here is going to quickly swing ahead. I don't believe there's enough units here to actually kill it off, or kill anything off, so I believe Yellow here is actually going to be sitting pretty good. And this is actually a lot like how I like to play, except the 3rd hatchery is not quite that quickly. It just allows you to get a whole lot of extra drones, get a ton of units right at the last minute. Pretty much just, like, well, of course I get my natural first, and then when I get my 3rd, I use it mainly for like a macro hatch, and put some extra drones there. I mean, and then when he attacks with a 4 gate, I usually defend it quite easily. Putting up enough spines, putting up enough Zerglings and whatnots, and it's usually pretty good. So, I mean, it's kind of like if your opponent spots it, then he's like, okay, I gotta attack, gotta do something. And if he just misjudges how many units he actually needs, you can easily just overwhelm his units and then go in there and kill him. So it's actually quite a strong thing to do, but you do have to be careful. You have to produce drones constantly. You do have to keep up on supply, otherwise you're just going to fall further and further behind. Keeping up on supply on that kind of build when you have so much extra larva is a really big deal. Really big, because, I mean, otherwise you will just not have enough units to defend. If you're producing so many drones, and if you don't produce enough drones, you're not going to be able to get enough money to produce enough guys to defend. So, I mean, it's all very kind of hard to do. It does take a little bit of practice and whatnot. But it looks like Zerg is going to be attacking in here. He does have slow Zerglings, slow Roaches, but Protoss doesn't really have lots either, so I believe Zerg is going to do quite a lot of damage here. And the sentry does go down, though, more Guardian Shield for these folks, and, well, there's an Immortal coming out, and the Immortal's going to do a lot of damage, but he is kind of alone, and you do not want him taking heavy damage. Pretty much as Zerg, you want to target the Immortal and kill it off ASAP, even if it is with Roaches, because Immortals are more known for their damage. I mean, it's kind of like the Hardened Shield is kind of like the cool thing about them, but the damage is really the unique thing that makes them really super awesome. So you want them in the back and dealing damage instead of absorbing it. That was that. There was a GG, I believe. I mean, you kind of have to GG to surrender. Looks like nobody's watching now. No big deal. I don't blame them since I gave them that, few minutes where I wasn't casting. And looks like we're gonna maybe have a grudge match depending on if Diablo gets picked. Paxel playing a Zerg, and El Diablo has been picked and he's doing random apparently. So, well, Paxel has spawned at the 9 o'clock position here as our yellow Zerg player. Let's just go ahead and bet on him just because I have seen him play quite a few times. Not that he's like super awesome, but he's, I don't know. It's like I can almost kind of like have a connection with him, I know what's going on. I know he's going to win just because I have this feeling.